Setting goals, that standard you're trying to reach when you set out to do something, like with COVID-19 and achieving herd immunity. The state is setting some pretty lofty goals for getting Idahoans vaccinated. During a vaccine rollout meeting with the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare yesterday, the state announced they hope to have 80% of those 65 and older fully vaccinated by June 1st. And they're already well on their way. Right now, more than 70% of that age group has gotten at least one shot, and about 63% fully vaccinated. But what does that mean for the rest of us? Well, all Idahoans 16 and older have been eligible to get a COVID vaccine since last week. And as of yesterday, the state says nearly 39% of those eligible have gotten at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. And about 27% already fully vaccinated. So pretty good, right? But the state wants us to be better, setting a goal of getting at least 80% of the general population vaccinated in the next 5 months.
We're looking at September potentially is that 80% target goal. And we do know that an important piece of that is when we have vaccine approved for the Pfizer vaccine, we're keeping our fingers crossed that once kids have to be part of that formula as well. We can't achieve our 80% goal without having youth also included in there.
The reason we selected 80% is, I'd say, twofold. One is that we continue to hear from the experts that really know best the impact of the variant viruses, knowing that they aren't sure. But right now, 80% is what is usually quoted as a good target to aim for to try to achieve herd immunity. And of course, that's what we want to be able to do. But so the second area was that it seems achievable if we're at 70% already for our seniors to try to really push to 80, because then we felt that we'd be closer to herd immunity in that population, and then we could bring along the younger populations. We are hopeful that by the time school starts, like Elke alluded to, in September, if the Pfizer vaccine is there, that at least we'll have some of our younger set included in that.
Okay, so 80%. That's 1.4 million of Idaho's nearly 1.8 million residents. As of today, we have just over 380,000 Idahoans, 16 and older, considered fully vaccinated. Only about 21%, meaning just over 1 million Idahoans still need to be fully vaccinated by September to meet the state's goal and make it to herd immunity. Some of those million Idahoans already gotten their first doses, so trying to figure out how many Idahoans would need to get their next shot, well, per day, that's kind of tricky. To add to that, just about a quarter of our population is under the age of 18. There are no vaccines licensed for anyone under the age of 16 as of now. Only Pfizer is authorized for use in those between the ages of 16 and 17. But as you heard Dr. Hahn say, they are hopeful a vaccine will be available for younger kids by the time school starts in the fall. Just recently, Pfizer applied for a review by the FDA to let kids ages 12 to 15 get the vaccine, but we still have not heard when or if that could happen. All that aside, how are we supposed to get to that 80% when we can't even get 50% of the population to get their flu shot? According to the Kaiser Foundation, the Family Foundation, it's a nonprofit that focuses on national health issues, Idaho was at about 45% flu vaccination rate during the 2019-2020 flu season. Not only that, younger Idahoans have been less than excited to get the COVID vaccine. Elke Shaw-Tulloch with the Department of Health and Welfare, who you just heard from, said the state is starting to shift their approach, their message to younger adults. She said they're planning to ask the CDC for a grant to help with outreach and education, offering after-hours vaccine clinics, even getting incentives to get Idahoans vaccinated. Either way, we're going to be watching to see how close we can get to that goal.